Hello, guys. It's been a long time, and this is part 5 of my Gitanjali series by Tagore. And so let's start from poem number 43. And from this point onward, the poems are about arrival of God, arrival of hope. In different poems, we see different perspectives. So let's start. Poem number 43. The day was when I did not keep myself in readiness for you, and enter my heart unbidden, even as one of the common crowd, unknown to me, my king. You did press the sign of eternity upon many a fleeting moments of my life. And today, when by chance I light upon them and see your signature, I find they have lain scattered in the dust, mixed with the memories of joys and sorrows of my trivial days forgotten. You did not turn in contempt from my childish play among dust, and the steps that I heard in my playroom are the same that are echoing from star to star. So it's about if we take the you context as God, then we see that our whole life, our joys and sorrows are full of divine touch, divine element. But if we see it from a destiny perspective, that you don't realize it, but in your day-to-day life you are getting in touch with your destiny and you're just not realizing it. And one day when you see, years of some years after this, you see back your life and you will feel that your destiny has been reaching out to you in so many phases. Poem number 44. This is my delight, just to wait and watch at the wayside, where shadow chases light and the rain comes in the wake of the summer. Messengers with tidings from unknown skies greet me with speed along the road. My heart is glad within, and the breath of my passing breeze is sweet. From dawn till dusk, I still hear before my door, and I know that of a sudden the happy moment will arrive when I shall see. In the meanwhile, I smile and I sing alone. In the meanwhile, the air is filling with the perfume of promises. So here I again uh, interpret it with the destiny perspective, that we are journeying towards our destiny alone. In the meanwhile, I smile and I sing all alone. It's like, yeah, we are treading our path alone, but we are it's not actually alone. It's a promise, it's a sense of promise that we are waiting for our destiny to reach towards us. And all throughout the journey, it's an imperative to smile and sing along, because it's not too far. Whatever you are searching for, it's coming towards you, you just have to smile and sing all alone till the promised day comes. uh, Poem number 45, I have titled it Hope. Have you not heard its silent steps? He comes, ever comes. Every moment and every age, every day and every night. He comes, ever comes. Many a songs have I sung in many a mood of mind, but all their notes have always proclaimed, He comes, ever comes. In the fragrant days of sunny April, through the forest path he comes, ever comes. In the rainy gloom of July night, on the thundering chariot of clouds, he comes, ever comes. In sorrow after sorrow, it is his steps that pressed upon my heart, and it is the golden touch of his feet that makes my joy to shine. So as I said, I have titled it hope because it's that perspective that in every age and every season, there is hope. There is always hope. Even in sorrows, even in gloom, there is hope. There is a hope of a better tomorrow. So that's what my perspective in this lesson, in this poem. Poem number 46. I know not from what distant time that you are ever coming nearer to meet me. Your sun and stars can never keep you hidden from me for aye. In many a mornings and evenings, your footsteps have been heard, and your messengers have come within my heart and called me in secret. I know not why today my life is still astir, and the feeling of tremendous joy is passing through my heart. It is as if the time were come to wind up my work, and I feel in the air a faint smell of your sweet presence. So yeah, it's again, this is the last of the Arrival series, Arrival of Hope, Arrival of God, Arrival of Divine. Uh, so yes, so it's time. You have just arrived at my door, and my heart is fluttering, in a sense that I can almost feel you have already reached me. Poem number 47, sorry. Vanishing of Ignorance, that's what the title I have given it to it. The night is nearly spent waiting for him in vain. I fear lest in the morning he suddenly come to my door and I have fallen asleep, wearied out. O friends, leave the way open to him, forbid him not. If the sound of his steps does not wake me, do not try to rouse me, I pray. I wish not to be called from my sleep by the clamor choir of birds, by the rite of winds at the festival of morning light. Let me sleep undisturbed, even if my Lord comes of a sudden to my door. Ah, my sleep, precious sleep, which only waits for him, touch to vanish. Ah, my closed eyes that would open their lids only to the light of his smile, when he stands before me like a dream emerging from the darkness of sleep. Let him appear before my sight at the first of all lights and all forms, the first thrill of joy to my awakened soul. Let it come from his glance, and let my return to myself be immediate return to him. So, you know, in the last point we were talking about our arrival, and this is where he's almost arrived, and it's we are always moving towards our goals in life. We are always moving towards that distant future, and distant goals. But as we go and as we move from into our journey from the start, to the middle and then to the end, our enthusiasm, our sense of activeness decreases with time to time. You might have seen in your work that whatever you do, initially there is an enthusiasm to start the work, and you started with all the joy, all the activeness, all the readiness, blah blah blah. So but what happens while you're going into the journey is that your efficiency, your progress decline, your productivity declines with the time, and then there comes a time where it seems that everything has stopped for you. So what this poem is saying is, let when it talks about divine, when it talks about hope, when it talks about the God, it's saying that let my eyes open by itself, by realization, by wisdom. As I've told countless times, that Indian Ancient Indian philosophers used to say ignorance is the root cause of all evil. So, we in our life, many a times we are filled with ignorance, and sleep is, a symbol of ignorance. We are sleep when Tagore says we are sleeping, it's like, we are in a state of ignorance. So let the Lord come, let the hope comes, let the destiny comes, and wake me up from the ignorance to wisdom. There is this, tamso ma sadgamya, uh, lead me to the light from darkness and all. So yeah, so it's like, my ignorance is just it's just made to be, overthrown, to be, as it says, vanished by, by the fate of destiny, by the touch of destiny. uh Poem number 48. At last, you're the destiny. The morning sea of silence broke into ripples of bird songs, and the flowers and all merry by the roadside, and the wealth of gold was scattered through the rifts of the cloud. While we busily went on our way and paid no heed, we sang no glad songs nor played. We went not to the village for barter, we spoke not a word nor smile, we lingered not on the way. We quickened our pace more and more as the time sped by. The sun rose to the mid sky and dove cooed in the shade. Withered leaves danced and whirled in the hot airs of noon. The shepherd boy drowsed and dreamed in the shadow of the banyan tree, and I laid myself down by the water and stretched my tired limbs on the grass. My companions laughed at me in scorn. They held their head high and hurried on. They never looked back nor rested. They vanished in the distant blue haze. They crossed many meadows and hills and passed through strange, faraway countries. All honor to me, you heroic host of the indeterminable path. Mockery and reproach pricked me to rise, but found no response in me. I gave myself up, for lost in the depth of a glad humiliation, in the shadow of dim delight. The repose of the sun embroidered green gloom slowly spread over my heart. I forgot for what I have travelled, and I surrendered my mind without struggle to the maze of shadows and songs. At last, when I woke from my slumber and opened my eyes, I saw you standing by me, flooding my sleep with your smile. How I have feared! The path was long and wearisome, and the struggle to reach you was hard. Well, it first of all, the morning sea of silence broke into ripple of birds, flowers, and all merry on the roadside, and the wealth of gold scattered. It says that, what we are actually searching for is all around us. It's all around us. The beauty, it's all around us when we are not noticing it. But it is there, and we are just hurrying along to whatever we think our goal is. We are not searching for, the reality. The reality, the beauty, the wonders of the world are just all around us. It's just, you just have to, you know see in that direction, see around yourself, and you will find it. But what happens is, we see our friends, we see people around us moving, going towards, whatever goals they think they have, and we also starts moving towards it, without thinking much, because of various feelings, uh, humiliation, greed, envy, mockery, blah blah blah, for various reasons, for, it's like, peer pressure. For various reasons, we try to move in one of those directions which we see others moving. But, only after some time, after a time, we realize that what we hoped for, what our destiny was always waiting for us, just near us, and we thought it was very difficult. How I have feared that the path was long and wearisome, and the struggle to reach you was hard. But it is not. It is easy. It's just you have thought about some mental goals for yourself, and you're just going towards it in a fast fashioned way. What the actual the reality exists just next to you. Life exists just next to you. uh Poem number 49. You can do it. That's my title for it. You came down from your throne and stood at my cottage door. I was singing all alone in a corner, and the melody caught your ear. You came down and stood at my cottage door. Masters are many in your hall, and songs are sung there at all hours. But the simple carol of this novice stuck at your love. One plaintive little strain mingled with your great music of the world, and with the flower of a prize, you came down and stopped at my cottage door. Okay, so sometimes we compare ourselves that there are great geniuses in the world. Just a second. There are great geniuses in the world. Any field you take, you will find that there is some person which is better than you in it. But so what? That does not stop you from reaching whatever goals in life you have. And you will find, and as this poem says with that certainty, that you will find that you just have to continue. I was singing alone in a corner, and the melody caught your ear. So you should not worry how others are doing, what others are achieving, because you just do your stuff, you know as you're doing it, continue doing uh thing, and one day you will notice that you have reached what you wanted. you know he you know the I was singing alone, but you came down at my cottage, because uh, uh, my our one plaintive little strain mingled with the great music of the world, and with flower of a prize you came down and stopped at my cottage door. So destiny will one day knock at your door, and you will find what you were looking for. Poem number 50th. You know, this poem I feel is based on the principle of karma. In Indian uh, philosophy, ancient Indian knowledge, Vedic culture says that believes in this principle of karma. Karma is that what you give, you get. What you sow, you shall reap. So whatever you have done in previous lives, you will get in this life, and whatever you do in this life, you will get its fruits in either this life or next lives. So this is the principle of karma. Karma is very karma is a very strong principle. If you believe in the principle of karma, in the cycle of karma, it makes you more uh, independent, in a sense that as Sartre says, you are condemned to be free. And principle of karma just do that. You are free. Anything which you experience is the result of your own actions, not of any other. Even if you're suffering from the birth itself, it is still your own action of past lives. So nothing, or you if it's your actions, you can change it in this life, and you can improve it from now onwards. If it's bad right now, you can improve it from now onwards, and then you will have better karmas for future. So it's all on you. So it gives us the power, the strength, the freedom to pursue our own interests in future. It does not makes us dependent on others. World is not the one who has, done anything to us or something. So, point number 58. I have gone a begging from door to door in the village path, when your golden chariot appeared in the distance like a gorgeous dream, and I wondered who was the king of all kings. My hope rose high, and mere thought my evil days were at the end. And I stood waiting for alms to be given unasked, and for wealth scattered on all sides in the dust. The chariot stopped where I stood. Your glance fell on me, and you calmed down with a smile. I felt that the luck of my life have come at last. Then, of a sudden, you did hold your right hand and say, "What have you to give to me?" Ah, what a kingly jest was it, to open your palm to a beggar to beg. I was confused and stood undecided, and then from my wallet I slowly took out the least little grain of corn and gave it to you. But how great my surprise when at the day's end I emptied my bag on the floor to find at least a little grain of gold among the poor heap. I bitterly wept and wished that I've had the heart to give you my all. It's how is it related to karma? It's saying that you can't just wish to the world that give me this, give me that. You can't just hope that you will have whatever you want. You have to give equivalent to what you want in return. So when you give a little to the world, the world will give little to you. You gave a little grain to the world will give you little gold, in that way. So if you want a life of fulfillment, you have to give your all to life. You can't be half-hearted in your actions, half-hearted in your performance. If you want everything in life, you have to give everything to life. And that's the law of equivalent exchange, which some of you might know. And that's also related to law of karma. Poem number 51, ignoring the signs. That's what I gave the title to it. The night darkened. When our day's work had been done, we thought that the last guest has arrived for the night, and the doors to the village were all shut. Only some said that the king was to come. We laughed and said, "No, it cannot be." It seems there were knocks at the door, and we said it was nothing but the wind. We put out the lamps and lay down to sleep. Once only some said, "It is the messenger." We laughed and said, "No, it must be the wind." There came a sound in the dead of the night. We sleepily thought it was the distant thunder. The earth shook, the wall dropped, and it troubled us in our sleep. Only some said it was the sound of wheels. We said it in the drowsy murmurs. No, it must be the rumbling of the clouds. The night was still dark when the drum sounded. The voice come, "Wake up, delay not." We pressed our hands on our heart and shuddered with fear. Some said, "Lo, there is the king's flag." We stood up on our feet and cried, there is no time for delay. The king had come. But where are lights? Where are wreaths? Where is the throne to seat him? Oh shame! Oh utter shame! What is the hall? Where is the hall? The decorations? Someone had said, "Wham is this cry? Greet him with empty hands. Lead him into your throne all bare." Open the door, let the conch shell be sounded. In the depth of the night had come the king of our darkness, a dark, dreary house. The thunder rose in the sky, the darkness shudders with lightning. Bring out your tattered pieces of mat and spread it through the courtyard. With the storm had came of a sudden of a king of the fearful night. So it's all, again it's about ignorance. We are wasting our time ignoring the messages, the signs we are getting from all around us. We are we are sleeping away our life, our journey, not doing what we are supposed to do. And whenever we get a sign, we just we just mistake it for something else. We mistake all signs which we are getting from all around us for something else. But time waits for no one. And and only it's also about procrastination, that only at the last moment we realize what we were supposed to do. And when the opportunities comes, when time comes, we are all unprepared. And time waits for no one. If you are unprepared, you are unprepared, and you have to do what you can at that moment, and you lose the right opportunities in life. So this is about that. Don't ignore the signals, don't ignore the messenger which has come to he is your good friend. All signs, if you can notice signs around you, that's for the best. Uh, Poem number 52. I have titled it Sword of Detachment. Karma and detachment are very important concepts in Indian philosophy. You will find them in Bhagavad Gita if you read it. You will find it in Vedas, Upanishads. These are very important concepts from Indian philosophy. And if you can adopt these concepts in life, you will become stronger. Your mind will become stronger in some ways. So listen to point number 52. I thought I should ask for you, but I dare not. The rose wreath you had on your neck. Thus I waited for the morning when you did depart, to find few fragments of the on the bed. And like a beggar I searched in the dawn, only for a stray petal or two. Ah me, what is it I found? What token left of your love? It is no flower, no spices, no vase of perfumed water. It is your mighty sword, flashing with a flame heavy as a bolt of thunder. The young light of morning comes through the window and spreads itself upon your bed. The morning bird tweets and asks, Woman, what have you got? No, it was no flower, no spices, nor vase of perfumed water. It was your dreadful sword. I sit and muse and wonder, what gift is that of yours? I can find no place where to hide it. I am ashamed to wear it, frail as I am, and it hurts me when I press it to my bosom. Yet shall I bear in my heart this honor of the burden of pain, this gift of yours. From now there shall be no fear left in me in the world, and you shall be victorious on all my strifes. You have left death for my companion, and I shall crown him with my life. Your sword is with me to cut asunder my bonds, and there shall be no fear left in me in the world. From now I leave off all petty decorations, Lord of my heart. No more shall there be for me waiting and weeping in corner. No more coyness and sweetness of demeanor. You have given me the sword of adornment. No more dolls' decorations for me. So again, this is a very important concept, that in this life we have chained ourselves to everything all around us. We have chained ourselves to the material stuff. We've chained ourselves. Today we say The young ones have chained themselves to their smartphones, their mobile phones. But even before that, we have chained ourselves to our family, we have chained ourselves to our friends, chained ourselves to our material possessions. But these things by their very nature, you know gives you a sense of fear in life. You always have that anxiety that you will lose your stuff, lose your things around you, and that makes you sad. That arose a lot of emotions inside you. But this is not the right way of living, and that's what our ancestors used to say. We must lead a life of detachment. So that's why I've given this poem the title, "The Sword of Detachment." That have God have given you the sword of detachment, the sword in your heart, to sever all the bonds around you, so that you can be do away with all the fears in your life. And only then can you be successful in all your ventures. So if you want to be successful in all your ventures in life, you must use the sword of detachment in your life, so that you can do away with all the fears. So, last poem for the day, poem number 53, Inside and Outside. So it's about internal beauty, I guess. Beautiful is your wristlet, decked with stars and cunningly wrought in myriad colored jewels. But more beautiful to me your sword with the curve of lightning, like the outspread wings of the divine bird of Vishnu, perfectly poised in the angry red light of the sunset. It quivers like the one last response of life in ecstasy of pain and the final stroke of death. It shines like the pure flame of being burned up earthly sense with one fierce flash. Beautiful is your wristlet, decked with starry gems, but the sword, O Lord of thunder, is wrought with the uttermost beauty, terrible to behold or to think of. So it's again, you can take the sword from in that perspective only, the sword of detachment. But here sword is your internal perfectness, your internal beauty. So inside and outside. So your wristlet, your hands, you have jewel, you can wear anything beautiful on yourself. But it's all in good, it's beautiful, I agree. But what is more beautiful is your internal purity, your internal beauty, your internal righteousness, dharma, whatever you use. So yeah, so that's more beautiful, that's more awe-inspiring. So that is it for today. Thank you guys, see you next time.